We good? All right, thanks, bud. You can go. Welcome, fourth graders, Cherry View Elementary School. It's Mr. Teets again with the math lesson for today, Thursday, April 23rd. The lesson for today is called Converting Between Improper Fractions and Mixed Numbers. The best way to go about doing this is to talk about what those things are, improper fractions and mixed numbers. Right here we have our mixed numbers. The thing that makes them mixed numbers is it has a whole number with a fraction next to it, as you can see right here, meaning there's two wholes filled out, and then in the last one there's 4 out of 7. 5 filled out with 2 out of 5 on the last one. So that's what a mixed number is. An improper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So what we're going to be doing today is taking these mixed numbers and turning them into improper fractions like this, and then vice versa. We're going to be taking the improper fractions and turning them into mixed numbers. So let's get started. The easier of the two of these is to do a mixed number into an improper fraction. And the two things that you need to remember are, first, we are going to multiply. I think that's an X. And then after that, we are going to add. So first of all, we will start with the 7. We will always start with the denominator. We will then take that denominator 7 and I will multiply it times the whole number. So here we have 7 times 2, which equals 14, right? So that's the first step, 7 times 2. Then I'll take that 14 that I got and I will add the numerator, okay? 7 times 2 is 14. Take that 14 plus 4 and that gives us 18. The denominator is the easy part. It's the same denominator as it was over here. So since my denominator was 7, it also will be 7 again. Again, 7 times 2 plus 4 is 18 over 7. Next one, let's do this one. We'll start with the denominator again, in this case being a 5. I then take that 5 and I do what? I'm waiting. I'm just kidding, I can't hear you. Multiply that denominator times the whole number. 5 times 5. That equals 25. Now that I have that number, I take that 25 and I add it to the numerator. So I have 25 plus 2, which equals 27. And as I mentioned over here, the denominator stays the same. These tend to be the easier of the ones because it's simple multiplication plus the numerator, and that gives us our new numerator over the same denominator as before. So I turn these mixed numbers into improper fractions. When we do the next step, we have to turn an improper fraction to a mixed number. This one's a little bit more work to it, but it's not difficult work. It's work that you've done throughout this year. When we do 13/3, when I want to turn that into a mixed number, what I have to do is divide. Fractions are like division problems. So I will just simply take the numerator, the top number, and I will divide it by the denominator, in this case 3. And when I divide here, I'm going to get everything that I need for my mixed number. The quotient here will be the whole number. The remainder will be the numerator, while the divisor will be the denominator. Okay? So let's take a look at this problem. Does 3 go into 1? No. Does 3 go into 13? Yes. How many times without going over? If we count by 3s or we do our 3 facts in our head, we will find that that answer is 4. So now I take 3 times 4, that gives me 12. I write that 12 down here, and then my next step is to subtract them. 13 minus 12 is 1. As I said, that remainder is going to be our new numerator. Okay? So now I need to write this as a mixed number. Remember, a mixed number is a whole number with a fraction next to it. My whole number, as I can see, comes from the quotient or the answer, and that is 4. All right? Now I need my fraction to go with it. My fraction will come from, the numerator will come from the remainder. In this case, my remainder was 1. And then, much like up here, the denominator will always stay the same. So here was 7 to 7. Here my denominator was 3, so my denominator will be 3 again. And that comes from our divisor. Okay, so 13/3, we get 4 with the remainder of 1. Whole number, numerator, denominator. And we'll do it that way every time. Let's look at the next problem, 32/5. So I take the 32 and I divide it by the denominator, which is 5. Now I need to see, does 5 go into 3? The answer there is no. So now I'll do 5 into 32. How many times does that happen? Got it? The answer is 6. Okay? 6 times 5 is 30. So I'm going to put that 30 under the 32 and then subtract it. 32 minus 30 equals 2. Right? So now from these three numbers, I'm going to get my mixed number, which is a whole number and a fraction next to it. So let's take a look at the problem above as a quick review. My whole number comes from the quotient right here. So therefore, 6 is my whole number. Okay? Now, where does my numerator for the fraction come from? Looks like the denominator, or the remainder here, the remainder is the numerator. That equals 2 right here. And my denominator is the divisor. In this case, it is 5. Therefore, I get 6 2/5. On IXL assignment P24, you will have to do both kinds of these problems. Remember, from a mixed number to an improper fraction, you multiply and then add. And then when you do from an improper fraction to a mixed number, we do a division problem, knowing the quotient is our whole number, the remainder is the numerator, the divisor is the denominator. Thanks for listening. Always fun to teach you. I miss you. Have a great day. Enjoy.